our owner, Woody Johnson, is once again under fire for making some pretty nasty comments to one of his players, and this one's pretty bad. But let's back up a little bit. I want to go back about a week and a half, I think it was, where the Jets and the NFL had their fall owners meeting, and Diana Rossini asked Woody Johnson specifically, what makes him a good owner? Woody's response was, quote, I think the players can relate to me in some ways. Even though I don't have their background, I have a certain amount of empathy that I think they can feel. I can't be them. I don't have their background. I didn't grow up in their neighborhood. There's no way I can completely understand what they went through in their life. But I think they know that I'm an understanding person. I'm willing to listen to anybody to tell me anything they want to tell me. I'm willing to listen to their ideas too. That was the direct quote from Woody Johnson when Diana Rossini asked him what makes him a good owner. And this was literally minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops, from him turning to the crowd and throwing his starting quarterback under the bus, Justin Fields.
You know, it's hard when you have a quarterback with, with a rating that we've got. You know, he has the ability, but something just is not jiving. If we can just complete a pass, it would look good.
He said if we could just complete a pass, the team would look better. Throwing his starting quarterback, young starting quarterback, handpicked by Aaron Glenn, throwing him under the bus and driving over him multiple times. So much so that Justin Fields had a very visceral response, and you heard his quotes in the post game after the Bengals game.
It's been a lot of, it's been a lot for me, emotionally, spiritually. When I was on the field, I was damn near about to start crying.
So empathy is something that I think Woody Johnson really struggles with. I don't know how you can say that you have empathy for your players after throwing one of them under the bus not even 5 minutes before. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And the history of Woody Johnson having empathy for his players is not good. It just isn't. Let's go back to 2022. We had an article by The Athletic, by Diana Rossini and Zach Rosenblatt, talking about the 2022 season specifically. In that article, there was an incident between Woody Johnson and Mike White. You remember Mike White, the Mike White shirts, Mike effing White. Everybody was so enamored by what Mike White could possibly be for the team. This was a direct quote from the article. The Johnson family's behavior inside the Jets locker room has also become an issue. According to team and league sources, NFL locker rooms are restricted access spaces typically limited to players, coaches, team personnel, and media members. But Brick and Jack, the sons of Woody Johnson, brought friends, male and female, into the locker room, and current and former players and coaches told The Athletic that Woody Johnson, his wife, Suzanne Arisha Johnson, and his sons criticized players in the locker room. Woody Johnson, his wife, and his sons are criticizing players in the locker room after games. In 2022, quarterback Mike White played through broken ribs in a late season game against the Seahawks with postseason hopes on the line. Mike White played poorly. The Jets lost and were eliminated from playoff contention. After the game, with the quarterback in the showers, after throwing his helmet to the locker room floor, multiple Jets players said they heard Woody Johnson say, "You should throw your helmet. You effing suck." The statement got back to White. The team spokesperson said Johnson apologized to the quarterback and declined to comment for this story. This absolutely happened. This is not a fake story because the Jets addressed it through an official spokesperson to The Athletic, that Woody Johnson made those comments and apologized later on to Mike White. But I'm sorry, you have empathy for your players, yet you throw your starting quarterback under the bus before the Bengals game. And then back in 2022, you throw your then starting quarterback under the bus after he's playing with broken ribs. But Woody Johnson has empathy. Today, we learned about some comments that were made by Woody Johnson to Jordan Travis. You remember Jordan Travis. I believe he was a 5th-round draft pick by the previous administration. Had FSU undefeated before suffering a horrendous leg injury that ended not only his college career, but his NFL career in total. He never played football again. Not for FSU, not for the Jets, not for anybody. Unfortunately, his injury to his leg was so severe, he was not able to continue at all and ended up having to retire before even making the roster. I believe he was just on the practice squad or season-ending IR his entire time with the Jets. But according to Jordan Travis, this exchange went down.
What Woody Johnson did, with Justin Fields, be better, bro. Speaking about your players publicly like that, you want to talk about losing a locker room? No head coach can fix that.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, that guy, no disrespect, but there was things that were said to me, not obviously to that point because I never got on the field to play, but about my leg, just slick comments that I don't know if he was trying to be slick about it, or you know how some older people, they just kind of say whatever comes to their mind, and it kind of made me feel a certain type of way. I told you about a few of them. Are you ever going to get healthy? And I'm just like, damn, not how you feel, and never that. There was always comments like that, and that kind of upset me, but it kind of rolled over my head. It makes sense, but I mean, kudos to Justin Fields, because I don't know if you saw his press conference, and you can see on his face he's not even distraught, bro. It's really cool. It inspired me. I freaking reposted it on my Instagram. Now it's his chance. He's getting attention. God still has his hand on him the whole time.
Amen.
Again, empathy. Apparently, Woody Johnson has empathy for his players, but you went to a young quarterback who's dealing with a life-changing injury to the point where he is not going to be able to make a living in the NFL. He's not going to get a contract of any meaningful amount. He's not going to be able to play the game that he grew up playing and loves. And you come up to him and ask him, are you ever going to be healthy? I don't know if he meant that as maybe a joking kind of way to maybe make Jordan Travis feel a little more comfortable around him. If that's the case, it's kind of a weird way to go about it, but that's clearly not how Jordan Travis took it. And he alludes to in his podcast that there were other things that were said to him. This is the only thing that he mentioned specifically. Woody Johnson is a unique character. On one hand, he says that he has empathy and he feels like he can connect with players. But then on the other hand, you have him, at least in 3 specific cases currently, throwing Justin Fields under the bus, telling Mike White he effing sucks while he's in the shower, and now wondering or kind of questioning Jordan Travis, is he ever going to be healthy? It is what it is. You make your own decision on what Woody Johnson said. You make your own conclusions on whether or not he has empathy for his players. But once again, the Jets are in the media in a negative light because their owner said something stupid to a player. And at some point, you have to take these at face value. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, guess what? It's a duck. And you have to sometimes, at some point, stop making excuses for somebody who is constantly not only making themselves look bad, but making the organization they own and they claim that they love look bad. You make your own judgment call on these comments here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.